free flow news where the only news we get is our own.
And
What's
it's free
up?
flowing.
It's free flowing. This is your host Patrick Withrow, and
I'm Ken Holdsworth, and this is going to be exciting. I got some news, I got some entertainment. I'm leaving the sports to you.
that's
And
right.
we're going to try something a little different. Like last time we did this, we free flowed it, but I thought it was a little too much free flowing. So we're going to actually have a clock. We're going to be
Yep.
like a legit news thing where they have
It
time and they have
boom.
segments. And so I'm going to have a little stopwatch. I'm only going to give us like 12 minutes to 15 minutes per segment.
Hell yeah.
You think we can do that?
We can do this.
All right, man. We're going to start right now. We're going to start with the news. There's a couple news items I wanted to discuss because both of which were kind of funny to me. And so the clock is running. The
Okay.
clock, I don't think you can see it. There it
I see
is. The
it.
clock
Boom.
is running. Boom. We're
All
going.
right, game time.
Yeah.
Let's get it rolling.
All right. So first we're gonna go with Trumpsky because I thought we were not gonna come back to Epstein, but
No,
Trump
we have to.
we have to because well one we have to because Trump made it worse in my opinion.
Yes, he did.
So he decided to drop a bomb on Truth Social, which I think was a dumb move, and I'll explain why. Well, once I read it, you'll be like, that was dumb to say. But basically, it comes down. I don't want to read the whole thing because it gets really lengthy. But
Get to the part where you're like, okay, that was dumb.
all right, he says um, basically that the whole Epstein thing was a scam. Uh, he goes, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue.
Okay.
Right. So
Did he explain
now
why it was a
he
scam?
he was well. He says it's a scam that the Clintons put together, and it's kind of like Russia. He's trying to
Wait,
flip it and say that this is put together by the Clintons and the Obamas. The
but
Epstein
that
list, the whole thing.
but Clinton's on the list.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying.
So
It's
that doesn't
dumb,
make sense.
right? But he's saying that the Democrats they stay together. They're sticking to glue. He goes, now here's where he goes. Their new scam is what we'll forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have brought into this bull or have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. So he's saying everyone that believed in the Epstein list was fooled by the Democrats. Now that would have to include him because he talked about it. But anyway, because they haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. I've had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and the success starved Dems is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward to do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. So basically, he's saying everyone that wants information on the Epstein list, you guys are weaklings. I don't want you in the party.
This is his problem is um it doesn't hurt Republicans' feelings when he talks like this because we actually like most of us, I would say we actually enjoy it. We love it when he talks smack because it's just fluff and so it only really works on liberals. Like
Yeah,
when you make fun of a liberal, it's like they're like ah, ah.
but yeah,
Like when I listen to that, I'm just like, okay, cool, that sounds good, dude, but I still want to know.
yeah.
Like it's not
But
gonna
but
go
the thing
away.
is, I think what he's doing though is all right. A lot of like you're diehard with him. You're ride or die. But he got put in by a lot of independents and people who weren't necessarily liked him, but didn't want Kamala. Well,
Yeah.
the problem that he's now done is you got these independent, like people like Joe Rogan, people like Theo Vaughn, you got all the podcast people, you got Daniel White from the UFC pissed off about this statement. All these people that supported him and were backing him and boom, boom, helping him get into power. He just said, you're weak and I don't need you. And now those people are like, well, midterms are coming up. You want to
Yeah.
keep the House, you want to keep the Senate. We're weak. You don't need us. Okay, good luck with that.
Well,
And that is what,
shoot. What if he's trying to flip it so that
well,
so that they do it on their own? Like the Republicans are all like, nope, we're not doing it. And then the Democrats, they they get it passed to release the files, and then they're like, oh shoot.
well, the thing is, like, I'll go with the guy, I can't remember his name, Marks. He's a dude who goes in and rescues kids all the time. And he said this a few years ago. He said the list will never be released because it was a intel op. It was done by the CIA and the Mossad, and basically it was done to get control of people and basically blackmail. And if you release the list and you prosecute the people, you no longer have control of those people. You can't make them do what you want. And if you release it, they can expose the whole thing. So a lot of people now are thinking the CIA and Mossad, Israel, Netanyahu, because he had a big meeting with Netanyahu the week before all this came down. Netanyahu was in DC for 5 days, which is wild that he was in for that long. And then after that visit is when they said, oh, there's nothing on the list. So,
Oh, could they just tell us the people that they don't mind throwing under the bus?
well,
Or
here's what they could have done. And if they wanted to be smart about, but it's like it seems like they never want to do things the smart way. They want to do it the most outrageous way. And all they could say, like, look, we have the list. We're going through it. Unfortunately, he was a very smart guy and he used aliases. So we can't tell exactly who everybody is. So we're trying to figure it out. So even if we
is that
release the
true?
list, I don't know if
Or
it's true, but saying they don't have a list is not true. The other thing
Mm,
that they could do is they could, if they want, open up the court records for Epstein's trial as well as his girlfriend Maxwell. Those
yeah.
have been
Are you
closed.
talking? Isn't that what Charlie Kirk was saying?
Well, yeah, if you
He
want
had
to, like they both got convicted of child trafficking. So if they were convicted of child trafficking, that means there had to be clients. So in order to be convicted for it, like they had to traffic them to someone, and they both lost their time, both went to prison for it. He supposedly killed himself. A lot of people now think he is not dead, and that CIA and Mossad got him out. I don't know. I've seen the photos, and yeah, the dead body does not exactly line up with his facial structure, but like you could also say, well, after someone dies, their skin tightens, their nose changes, their ears get a little bit bigger, whatever.
yeah.
Like you always hear that kind of wild stuff. But
Yeah,
he,
I've seen a dead face before, and it didn't look like the face
yeah, it doesn't. It
before.
looks slightly different. So I mean, so I don't put a lot into that, but I'm just saying, if it was a like CIA operative, they could just come out and say, hey, this we don't know exactly who all the people are. We have a list of names, but we it's not their actual names, it's aliases, and be like, we feel this is some sort of espionage thing that was happening and we're trying to find out more. And people be like, okay, they're still looking, they're still, but this going the whole forget about it, don't look at this, dumb. I think it's a dumb way of doing it. But
Yeah. To me, it just seems like it's lazy and theatrical, like,
yeah, yeah,
but
it
I'm
is.
also, again, I'm
You
also,
enjoy it.
well, I feel like I have an interesting perspective because I've been off social media for 3, 4 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I don't have any perspective to like listen to except for like I've been watching Charlie Kirk, I've been watching Sagar with Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
I don't watch any Fox or CNN or um but I have like usually I have Facebook and Instagram, so I have memes and I have uh all my friends' perspectives on things. And then when I see something that I'm like, that sounds dumb, and then I get in the habit of like researching what they said, and I'm like, and then I go down the rabbit hole. But now I don't have
Any?
I only have conversations with you. So I
Yeah.
only know like your perspective really. What is everyone else doing right now?
Well,
Like
well,
left,
I like
right, center?
well the far right people like who are ride or dies are like yeah, we trust you, you're gonna do the right
Really?
thing. Yeah, they're like
I've
there are
so
no there
maybe
are
I'm
some
not
there
maybe
are
I'm not a
some.
ride or die because like when I hear like when I
Well,
see
they
this text,
yeah,
I'm like
you're not quite ride or die. I shouldn't have thrown you under like that. But there are some ride or die who are like, we trust you, we know you're gonna do the right thing, we know it's good.
because
Then
even
you got
like
people are
during
like thinking, okay, maybe he got threatened. Maybe the CIA said, look, you expose this, we maybe they're like, we got some dirt on your sons we can let out. Maybe because CIA and those people have way they know and stuff. You know,
yeah, it's just
so
weird because I remember like right before they orchestrated COVID, I was like, yeah, I was like, this Epstein
Epstein,
stuff's weird.
yeah,
And then,
COVID happened,
and it
and
seemed like, yeah, that it seemed like they were like kind of talking about it. And then they're like, screw it. Let's just make up
yeah,
this disease real quick. And
and
then,
move on.
and then everyone stopped talking about it. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Yeah,
And now I'm just waiting for the next thing that they put together that they convince everyone to stop thinking about it.
yeah,
And
but
they'll get the left and the right.
yeah.
It's gonna be hilarious. I'm like, I
Oh,
told you guys not to do it, and then they're and hope like I saw like someone's bombing Syria now. What's going on over
yeah.
there?
I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it because I have another news story I want to look into that's a little bit funnier.
All right,
I
let's
mean,
hear some funny
it's
news.
funny to everybody else in the world. It's not quite as funny to the people that are involved. But I don't know if you heard about this couple that went to a Coldplay concert
Sarah was actually just telling me
and
about it.
then
So,
they got on the kiss cam
and it
and
was like
you see him say, "Oh my gosh, that's effing me," and then they die, and the audience just roars, thinks it's hilarious, thinking
probably
it's
nothing of it in that moment.
somebody released it on TikTok, and lo and behold, they're both married to other people.
Yeah.
He's the CEO of the company Astronomer CEO, the name of
Yep.
the company. She was the head of the HR, but they call her the chief people person. So it's like HR, whatever.
HR.
Just you're the HR. I'm the chief people person, whatever. Yeah, you are into the people. At least you're CEOs. But anyway, so they got exposed for having an affair. Apparently, she's a recent hire, I guess, within the past year. And he just a few days ago had put out a tweet about how she's such a great leader and risen and a woman that you can look at. Like everyone's like he loves women. Yes, he loves women. Yeah, he does.
Wait, did he make this tweet before
Before
the
this,
Coldplay?
yeah, before like a couple
That's
days
a,
ago. But
oh
anyway,
gosh,
so
it's crazy.
where it gets cringy to me, uh, he put out a statement, um, and the statement basically he's saying, made a mistake. I apologize to my wife. Blah blah. He goes on, and he was like, one of the lines is what was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. Uh, and then he should have just ended it with, please give me time to, you know, uh, he goes, he's here. He should have ended it to hear this. He goes, I'm taking time to reflect and to take accountability and to figure out the next steps personally and professionally. That should have been the end of his statement. But he chose to go on. He said,
Release the files.
no, but he said, I hope we can all think deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. Uh, he said basically that uh, it shouldn't, this private time he had should have never been brought to the light of day. Or basically, he's coming out and saying, y'all effed me and ruined my affair. And
Yeah,
that's what the last paragraph was basically. It sounded like this great apology. I love my wife. I'm so sorry. I'm going to my kids, this, that, my
but
company. And then the last, y'all shouldn't have like exposed this,
yeah,
jerks. But
and
I
I'm
was
sure
like,
he got a bunch of pushback
man.
on that. Like everyone probably wigged
Yeah,
out on
like
him.
when I read it, I was just like, dude, you went one paragraph too far, you know,
Yeah,
like because I was like, okay, he's apologizing, okay, he made a mistake, he's owning up to it, and then his mistake was that you guys let it out, and then and that's where it turned. I was like, come on, man, you're a CEO, you should
yeah,
be smarter than that. He should have ran it by his chief people person and made sure it, like fit in with like nothing against HR. And I
yeah,
also wondered, did they take the sexual harassment classes? Because they're very clear on that. They should not have been doing that.
yeah, yeah.
Like
That's wild.
as an HR person, she knows better. As a chief people person, she needs to retake those god awful sexual harassment classes that I had to take for what, as long as I've been working in an office. I've
Yeah,
had to take those, and
every
they were
year.
every year. And it's like I just like fast forward to get to the questions. No, 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 no. You passed. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
always no.
It's always
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So yeah, that I think that fits up our our news. Those are
Yeah, a
the
lot of
two
great.
biggest news.
Those are the
Thanks.
Epstein
Like I'll
and
look
the
into
Coldplay
Syria to
concert.
see if it gets bigger because like there's always bombing going off in the Middle East. That's why I didn't like, and I worked on Middle East affairs stuff for so many years. So when I see bombing in the Middle East and there was a big fire in Iraq,
Yeah, it was like Israel
and
bombed Syria or
yeah,
something. I was like,
yeah,
what's going on now? Like I
yeah.
don't know enough
Well, see, like I was
about
so in
that.
depth with that now when I see it, it's just like
It's just
what, oh,
like
was it Thursday? Yeah.
it's
No,
like a
it's
car accident pretty
yeah,
much.
it's like so I'm so used to hearing about it. I overlooked it. But I probably should start paying more attention to that again. And I actually have a guy that we should bring on sometime to talk about Middle East affairs. He would
That'd
be
be cool.
great. So
Who's this?
he's from Iraq and he's a reporter, a
Okay.
journalist. He was just recently on Al Jazeera talking about Iraq. I've had him on other shows before. I've worked with him. I've known him a long time.
Okay.
He's a
Yeah,
really
that'd
good
be
friend.
awesome.
His name's Ali, and he's fantastic and brilliant. But we'll have to
Yeah.
bring him on sometime.
Let's
But
bring him on.
yeah, so
Free
I
flow
think
news.
now it's time for sports.
Sports news. All right. So we got a few things that are recent. Von Miller just signed a 1 year deal with the Washington Redskins. So we got Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, and Von Miller in that middle backfield. Those linebackers, those big dudes. And then TJ Watt, Steelers, they finally got the deal done with him.
Oh, really?
Yep. Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner for the Jets. They just signed some big deals. That's kind of annoying for Terry McLaurin, because he's like he's like a Jerry Rice. Just like he works hard, he hustles, uh, he just gets after it. And I hope we figure it out and we just make him the highest paid receiver because I think he deserves it because he doesn't. He's not a distraction and
Hmm.
he just hustles. So hopefully he gets that. But really what I want to talk about today is fantasy football.
All
I want
right.
to Yeah, let's talk about fantasy football. The people are probably about to start doing their drafting, so I want to give some tips. You play a little bit of fantasy football, right?
Hmm.
What's your strategy when you go into it?
I just I let the computer pick
You just
everything.
let the computer play.
Well, I think I
Their
can.
pick.
I think I told you why. Actually why I shouldn't. But uh, I got burnt by fantasy football a few long time ago.
Really?
And I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a running back for the
Sean
Dolphins.
Alexander? Oh, Dolphins?
No, Dolphins a long time
Ricky
ago. And
Williams?
was that the one who just decided to retire like right before the season, like and smoke
Uh,
pot for the rest of his life?
Ricky Williams? Yeah.
Was that him? So anyway,
Yep.
so in my original draft, I had him in there because it was, all of a sudden just he was in my draft. And I couldn't be at the live draft, but I assumed because he announced I'm retired, I'm not playing, he would not be there. So I didn't have to physically take him out. Well, I got him first round. Boom. My first draft pick, Ricky Williams. And then I I didn't know this. So then I go and I'm like, why do I have this guy? I couldn't get rid of him. Like, cause I was in the thing where to get rid of a player, you couldn't just drop a player. You had to trade.
Oh,
And
you couldn't you didn't.
all I remember is I had him. I couldn't drop him. I couldn't get rid of him. Because, and then nobody would trade.
Oh, he was on the Yahoo no cut list probably.
Right. And so then I had him and it was like I couldn't get rid of him. And so I stuck with him the whole year. So I had two running backs, but really only one.
Oh
And then I
gosh.
can't remember who my other running back was at, but then he got injured. So then I had no running backs the whole season. And so I was pissed for
Oh
the rest.
geez.
I was like, and it was like in the year before I had won the league. And then
Okay.
this year it was just, and I was like, I hate fantasy football. I
Yeah,
know
it's much easier
I know
to
it's
do now.
changed
Like,
now, but
yeah,
yeah.
technology has gotten better. Like, probably what happened was this was like 2004, 2003,
Yeah,
and
but yeah, it's probably now. I can't remember when.
2006, maybe 2007.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I think it's like 2003 or 2004. Like, yeah,
Okay.
because it
Yeah, I
wasn't
can't remember what year he
2006.
retired. I thought he was on the Saints and he retired, and
Maybe it was on the
then he
Saints.
came back on, then he came back and he got traded to the Dolphins like a year later or something. But
Yeah. Oh, but go on with your fantasy football.
so I want to give a couple tips, not every round, but just some things that to look for. So when you're drafted in the first round, the players that you're probably going to be seeing coming off the board immediately are going to be Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, Puka Nacua. Those are probably going to be the main players that you're going to be seeing taken off. So what I would recommend is definitely go running back or wide receiver in the first round. I think most people know that. Every now and
Mhm.
then you might see someone just snipe a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, whoever they feel is the best quarterback. Every now and then you might even see like a tight end move. Like Brock Bowers might be a sneaky first round pick if you're later on in the draft. Like
Mhm.
let's say first couple picks is Jamar Chase, Bijan, Justin Jefferson, and so on. Like you got like three, four running backs and wide receivers that just get taken off the board. You could like what you could do is change up your strategy a little bit, get people thinking about the running or get people thinking about the tight end position and the quarterback position. Draft a Lamar Jackson, draft a Brock Bowers towards the end of that first round, and get people thinking, oh shoot, maybe I should pick up Trey McBride, or maybe I should pick up
Mhm.
Jaden Daniels. Uh, so that's one strategy.
Mhm.
Um, so after you go through that, oh shoot, is my mic still going? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you're still on.
I get so pumped about fantasy football. I'm so nervous. Is it on? I'm
Yeah,
good.
you're on.
Okay. Phew. So uh, I also want to talk about some sleeper picks. Actually, not even sleeper picks, but after that first round, like what are some players that you should look out for? Players that I'm looking at are running
Mhm.
back heavy. I like Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, and Devon Achane. Devon Achane will probably get taken first at the end of round or at the beginning of round two. So that's also an option that you could do is you could pick him up in the end of round one. Um, it might be a little early, but if you look at his stats, he got like 80 some receptions last season as a running back. He ran the ball, he scored a lot. Whenever Tua was in, he probably had I think he had like 20 plus points, depending on your point format, but 20 plus points is pretty good in most leagues. But if Tua was in, he was good. And when when they traded Jonnu Smith to the Steelers, that benefited Devon Achane because when they weren't relying on Jonnu Smith at tight end,
Mhm.
he was the guy. They set up a lot of plays for Devon Achane. So he's a player that I would definitely go for. Bucky Irving is another one that I would go for because I think he only played like 48% of the snaps. He splits the ball with Rashad White. Rashad White's more of a receiving back, but Bucky Irving, he runs the ball hard, and I think he could easily be like the Barkley of this year. Like he could just get close to 2,000 yards. Like, because that offensive line for the Bucks is really good. They are losing Tristan Wirth for I'm not sure how long, but probably the early part of the season. So that's a little hard. So he might not be great out the gate, but by playoff time, if he stays healthy, which he has no injury concerns, I don't think, he would be someone I would go for. Chase Brown's another one. Bengals running back. That offense, they are playing behind a lot, but he also does get some receptions. Not like Devon Achane. Sorry, I drank a bunch of milk before we did the podcast, and I chugged it, and like I got a bunch of lactose or a whole bunch
Milk,
of
milk,
lactase in my
milk
gut.
was a poor choice.
I chugged a big cup. But anyways, Chase Brown, I think the Bengals offense is insane. Like they're scoring 30 plus points a game because their defense is so horrible. They have to keep on scoring. Uh, if they're playing from behind a lot, then they might be passing more and relying more on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Mike Gesicki, their tight end. But
Mhm.
if they're leading, which Joe Burrow is leading in a lot of his games, they're gonna feed Chase Brown, and he's just gonna be a workhorse guy. So those three are the running backs I would be trying to pick up if you can get them. Now, obviously, in those early rounds with running backs, like you got Saquon, you got Bijan, you got Jamar Gibbs, you have Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey. Like those are the guys where you're like, like if they're healthy, they're probably going to be pretty good. So probably go with them first. But those are the next guys that I would go after. Wide receivers, CD, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins are going to be going first. Second round. Oh, Rashid Rice. He finally got his sentence. He has to do 30 days in jail. I think he's gonna face a suspension. So
Hmm.
that's gonna boost Xavier Worthy's stock. He's a wide receiver, probably more of a wide receiver too for the Kansas City Chiefs. But with Travis Kelce getting older, they're probably gonna rely less and less on him and more on Worthy. And until we know when Rashid Rice, I can't remember if they already decided how many games he's suspended for, but he is going to face a suspension.
Hmm.
Um, hmm, Gosh, my throat. All right. So let me continue on the receivers. Some players to look for, especially later rounds. Some guys I would look for. Darnell Mooney. He, I think he got like close to 100 targets, if not 100 targets last season. And that was with Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins, he was facing injuries, so he wasn't doing so good towards the middle of the season to the end of the season. And then when they switched to Michael Penix Jr., the offense, Bijan got better, Drake London got better, and I believe Darnell Mooney got better as well. But I feel if you have a full season for Darnell Mooney just going deep, he's gonna get some big plays, and I think he'll kind of be like a Devontae Smith with Jalen Hurts or a T Higgins with uh Joe Burrow. So I think, and you can probably get him fairly late, like maybe round 10, 11, 12. So I think he's someone to look for. Lad McConkey, he's not really he would also be He's probably a round two wide receiver, but he's someone that I think could win some leagues this year. I don't think he really has anyone fighting for targets today. Mike Williams, he just retired. He's not he's not young anymore, but that's one less wide receiver in that room. So, and that offensive line for the Chargers is looking phenomenal. They're going to be big. Amari and Hampton with Najee Harris. Did you hear about Najee Harris getting having the firework accident?
No, what do you do?
We'll find out, but he might not have an eye.
Oh, so that could
So
tamper his.
Amari and Hampton, I think I'm saying his name right. He's a running back out of North Carolina, rookie guy, and
Wow.
that offensive line is just it's going to be one of the best offensive lines. So his stock is rising, so you might have to get Hampton in the fourth or fifth round now, but it might be worth it. I think he's by the end of the season, he's going to be a beast. I keep going back to the running backs because I'm just so pumped about the running backs right now. Yeah. What do you have any questions for fantasy or
Um,
football?
well, in fantasy, what? So you say running back is the first thing you should go for?
I like going heavy running back because the times that I don't and the running backs that I do get, I end up facing injuries, and then it ends up being where I only have one running back that is good.
Hmm.
And then you don't have any depth. So what I like to do is go three running backs heavy, sometimes four, but it also really depends on what everyone else is doing. Like if you see three running backs go off the board, what I like to do is pick up a wide receiver or change the position to get everyone else thinking about another position.
Mhm.
Can you hear my dog whining in the background?
No.
Okay, good. She is whining. She's a dachshund.
Hmm.
But so yeah, it just really depends on who your league mates are. Like one of my leagues last year, my buddy Jason drafted like seven quarterbacks in the first seven rounds. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna worry about quarterback right now because it's not like I'll just get the 20th best quarterback or whatever in
Yeah.
like the last round. And I did that and I just stacked up on running backs and wide receivers. And then after like 2 weeks into the season, I said, "Hey, Jason, you don't really have any wide receivers. I got Michael Pittman. Can I have Jaden Daniels?" And boom, I got a top three quarterback. And then I had all these running backs and wide receivers. So don't don't feel like you have to get Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels or Josh Allen to win your league. What you could do is find some players like Justin Fields, who
Hmm.
he only played half a season, or not even half a season, like 4 or 6 games, and he had a decent amount of rushing yards. And running quarterbacks are always going to be some of the better players because you're getting passing yards, you're getting passing touchdowns, you're getting rushing yards, you're getting rushing um I said rushing touchdowns, rushing yards, but you're getting additional stats that can help you. You're
Okay.
pretty much getting a double player if you get a running quarterback.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So so Justin Fields would be a good later round quarterback. Same with Drake May. When
Hmm.
Drake May played college football, he ran, I think it was like 800, it would have been like 800 some yards his last season in college. But what they do is like when you get sacked, they count that against your yardage. So
Okay.
he had like minus 200 yards from sacks.
Oh, wow.
So he only ran 600, but he actually ran like 800 yards.
800. Oh, wow.
So he would be pretty good, you know?
All right. So I'm going to
Um,
draft him.
yeah, but like Drake May and Justin Fields, those are kind of guys that I would go for like round nine, probably round 9 to 12 if you can
Hmm.
get them, because you're probably going to be in a league with 10 to 12 people most of the time.
Yeah.
if you're in a league with 20 people or 16 people, get a quarterback pretty quick. That way you just at
Mhm.
least have one because
Okay.
when you're in those bigger leagues, people are going to just snipe one or two quarterbacks because that's the strategy that I do sometimes is if I know I'm in a bigger league and I know a position, there's only so many players at that position.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just draft two more than I actually need just to mess with the other teams where they have less of a supply. Like when their starting quarterback is on their bye week and there's no one in the waiver wires for them to pick up.
Yeah.
I have two of them on my bench, and then I
Okay.
can use that as draft leverage as well. So
All
yeah,
right.
supply and demand,
Cool. All right.
supply and demand.
Yeah. I'm
But I
gonna.
think I think we talked a decent amount of football and
Yeah.
sports. But
Yeah.
what up? How
Now it's
you just
now it's
yeah,
entertainment time.
entertainment. Did you just see Superman?
I did just see Superman, and I was gonna give a no spoilers review on it.
Okay, let's hear this
Like
new spoilers review.
now, I'm one of these. I've loved every Superman iteration. I've enjoyed them for just I enjoy seeing Superman portrayed in movies. I like seeing it. It's fun. Uh, I will say I was asked before we recorded by someone who will name remain anonymous. Uh,
Uh-huh.
would I see this movie again? And that's a big thing for me. Like there's movies. Well, would I see this movie again in theater? So
Okay.
that's it. Because like there's many times I will see a movie again and again if it's on TV or if I rent it or if I see it, I'll buy it. This is definitely one I am going to buy. So I'm willing to
Okay.
invest in
So
it.
it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah. And I'm willing to go see it again in the theater if someone wanted to go see it because I feel like because this way who James Gunn is, I some people like him, some people don't. Um, but he is a comic book nerd. So there's stuff in there from comic books. There's like Easter eggs and stuff that I know I missed that I want to go see again. But that said, he did a thing with Superman, which I came out of the movie happy, enjoyed, and I was like, it also gave you a sense of liking humanity, like
Okay. That's
whereas
pretty cool.
you wanted to enjoy humanity. And one thing he did with Superman in this is like Henry Cavill was a great Superman. I thought he was looked the part, play part. I felt like the story for him never really got to it. It was a lot of him being sad about Superman. What James Gunn did, he went back to like the comic books and kind of like golden age, but also 80s and 90s, like a mix of different times of Superman. But it was more of a Superman who had hope and trust in people, where he saw the good in people
Yeah.
and and hoped for the good in people. Even and this doesn't give away anything, but Lex Luthor's in it, the ultimate bad guy.
Okay.
Even Lex,
I heard there's a lot of different superheroes. I didn't
yeah,
hear how
well, like
many,
so he
or
like
maybe.
With Lex Luthor being the main bad guy in the story, uh there's a scene where he confronts Lex a couple times. But in one of the confrontations, he basically it gives a speech to Lex about what, you know, because Lex is angry that, Superman's an alien and, you can't trust this person, but he's like basically saying, I've lived on this earth. I am just as human because, he goes in a thing and basically says his biggest strength is his humanity.
Yeah.
And then he says to Lex, that's your biggest strength as well. And so he sees the humanity in Lex, this guy who's been trying to kill him and all these other people. And he still says, you have humanity in you. That and that's your if you go to that strength that so there was a lot of hope and cool stuff in it. And yeah, there's a lot of superheroes that have never been portrayed in live action. One is Guy Gardner, who was amazing. I think Mr. Terrific has been shown before. I think in the Arrowverse is what they called it when it was on the CW. I think Mr. Terrific was in that to an
Okay.
extent, if I recall. I could be wrong, but thought there was a guy who portrayed Mr. Terrific in that. Um, But the guy who plays Mr. Terrific in this, he's another superhero, was great. The girl who played Hawk Girl was great. Um, all of them, they did a really good job. It had funny moments, it had sad moments, it had intense moments. It really did feel like watching a comic book.
Yes,
And
my friend was saying that he is it's made him excited for like the DC universe, I guess, for
yeah,
the
and it,
future of
it,
it.
it really has because what like I said, I think last week we kind of talked about like the Warner Brothers were all over the place with DC, not knowing what to do, and they brought James Gunn in, and James Gunn did the basically took the Guardians of the Galaxy a D-list comic book and made them mainstream and made their movie a blockbuster. This comic book that I would say even among comic book people 50% of the people like 15, 20 years ago, if you asked people Guardians of the Galaxy, 50% of comic book fans would not know what you were talking about. They think, is that Dark Horse? Is that, they would not know it was a Marvel comic.
Yeah.
Um, and now everybody knows who Guardian of the Galaxy are, but they were like a D level comic book, like, and so he took them and made them A list. He's taken Superman, who is A list, and really made it that. And I love what he did because he didn't rehash the origin. He didn't
Do you get
rehash.
like that Guardians of the Galaxy kind of feel from it?
Not really. There was a couple scenes, but I mean, it's more James Gunn feel like because if you've seen James Gunn stuff, he has a certain way he does things, and he has but I mean, every director has a style, so his style is all over Guardians of the Galaxy. But I know some people are like, oh, that's just like, but it's not real. I mean, it's a similar thing because he also is into music, so he uses certain kind of songs for fight scenes and yes, he's going to have fun music. Like his fight scenes are very choreographed, almost like a dance.
Yeah.
Like not all of them, but like there's like certain characters. Mr. Terrific's big fight scene
So that's kind of
is a
like
dance.
Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
That is, I mean, well, like it's very similar. Like someone compared it to Yondu, which is the guy who had the arrow, who could control the arrow. And Mr. Terrific
Oh
has a
yeah.
he has a very the thing is he has a very similar kind of power. He controls these things, uh, and but it's not an arrow. But he controls these things, so he does a very similar thing. So when he did it, he did the fight scene, and it was really well done. But it was the way they did it, which was different. It was though it was similar, it was different. It was from the perspective of Lois Lane. So you're kind of seeing the fight scene from her eyes. So which was kind of a cool way to do it. So it was similar, but it was a different approach and a different look.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, overall,
Question.
like all the characters were really well done and fun.
So if I am going to see a movie when I go to the on vacation to see family,
Yeah.
would that be the move like and this would be between like July 28th to August
It'll
5th?
still be in theaters.
Like
I guarantee
would
it's gonna
that
be
be the
in
film
theaters.
to do you think that would
Um,
be the film to watch or do you think
I
there'd be
would
something else?
no, I would say yes. That is going to be like the only
That would be
movie.
the one to get the
Yeah,
family
because
together.
here's the thing. Fantastic Four is coming out, and I know it's going to be good. I saw the trailer for it, and I was excited about it. I was like, and I'm not really a Fantastic Four fan, but I know who the Fantastic Four is. So if you were to get the thing, let's go see Fantastic Four. Half the people are like, Fantastic what? Who? Who's that? Oh, it's
Yeah.
a Marvel movie,
Like I
and
remember
so
it back in
yeah,
the
but
early 2000s.
yeah, but the thing is, like, if you say like, yeah, they've tried the movies a couple times and it's never really panned out that great. I think they've
Yeah.
had one.
Jessica Alba was in it,
Yeah,
right?
she was in two. Then they tried it again and it failed, and then they tried it again and it failed, and
Oh,
now
they tried it two times after that,
yeah, yeah.
after
So
those?
then, now you have um Marvel finally owns it again. That the thing is, it was owned by I think Sony or Fox. Right, one of
Okay.
the two owned it, and they couldn't get it going right. And now Marvel has their claws back in it, so rightfully they have the ability, and they know how to treat their characters correctly. So I've no doubt it's going to be a great show. good movie. But the thing is, I think a lot of people also have Marvel fatigue, and I don't really. I there were they had
Yeah,
some
weren't they
slap.
like starting to make like all their characters gay? Like nothing wrong with
No,
it, but wasn't it kind of
that
like, all
no,
right,
it's just I mean, just they're doing characters that no one cared about, and then it seemed like they got lazy, like they were telling the exact same story and just point out, okay, instead of Tony Stark, it's going to be Wolverine. They're
yeah.
just point, but keeping it was the same story, but just putting in the different characters, and you kind of knew where everything was going. Thunderbolts was not that way. It was way fun again. It was so that kind of gave me hope. Okay, the next, but they had a slew of bad TV shows and bad films. But the Daredevil TV show was really good. Daredevil Born Again was I enjoyed it. Thought it was really well
What's like a
done.
Marvel, what are like 3 to 5 Marvel shows or movies like off the bat where you're like, yeah, that was dumb.
That was dumb.
All right, like
Oh,
suck,
bo- both
gay,
outings of
weird.
Captain Marvel. Um, the
Captain
first
Marvel.
one was bad because, and I went and saw
Captain
it.
Marvel. Who's Captain
Yeah,
Marvel?
it's Brie Larson. But the first one was bad, and here's why I didn't like it: is because of the continuity of the movie. Um, if you go back to the original Captain America that started it, or not Captain Iron Man that started it all, in it, the agent Coulson is part of Shield, but he doesn't call it Shield. He calls it the strategic blah 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 blah, and they keep making.
Strategic.
Yeah, well, they keep making the joke. Oh, you should come up with an acronym for that. Ha 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 ha. Then at the end of the movie, he's hands a card and it says Shield on it. Okay, now Captain Marvel takes place 20 years before that event. And there's a bunch of other things that are said and done in in Iron Man and Captain America and all these other movies that were supposedly the first time they were done or said. Captain Marvel takes place 20 years before. Immediately they're calling it Shield, not the strategic blah 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 blah. It's Shield,
Yeah.
Shield, Shield, Shield. I'm like, wait, it didn't get named Shield till 2000. This is 1980. What's going
Yeah,
on?
that's weird.
Then there was a bunch of other things that happened. One thing about Captain Marvel, and it's nothing against Brie Larson. Captain Marvel is kind of a boring person, so she played the part just like Captain Marvel was in the comic books. Captain Marvel is stoic. She's not funny. She's not your she's not Tony Stark. She's not quippy. She, and you don't want her to be. She's kind of like, this powerful woman that and they kind of played that way in the movie and that didn't go over. And she had a few quips, but a lot of it she's very stoked, but that was the
So
way the
Captain
character
Marvel's a
is.
woman?
Yeah, she's always been a woman.
I didn't
Well,
even
actually,
know
at one
women
point
could
she
be
was
captains.
it was she was a man at one point. Well, there was a
Are you
man
serious?
version. There was a man version, and then the man version gave the powers to the woman.
See, they're
But
trying
but
to make
no,
it
no, but
into like a
that
trans
no,
movie.
no, no. There was a dude. He stayed a dude. He gave the powers to the woman. There's like, but the thing is,
Trying to change the chromosomes. You can't.
one of the important things of Captain Marvel is she sets up the character Rogue in X-Men, and Rogue has the ability to take people's powers, and she takes some of Captain Marvel's powers, Miss Danvers' powers, and she becomes and keeps them the super strength and the flying ability. So she's an important part of that character's arc, and so you need to have her, but she didn't need to have a movie.
Yeah.
And then they did a sequel called The Marvels, which was awful. The other TV show that was awful was Secret Invasion. Awful
Yeah, I didn't even
TV
hear that
series.
one.
That was so
Was that
bad.
on Disney? I had to delete the
Disney
Disney
Plus.
thing.
Yeah, Disney Plus. But but
It
then,
was like after Endgame, it was like, all right,
yeah,
this is
well
kind of getting
they had a
weird.
lull. It's kind of hard to get, you go from Thanos to now you got to figure out where to go. And now the thing is, one of your big hitters with Marvel was James Gunn, and he is now the head of DC movies. And he, like I said, he took a D-list comic book and made it A-list and a blockbuster making billions. And now he's in charge of the whole DC universe. and he's got a vision. I think it's gonna be really cool for the next 10, 15 years. There'll be a lot of I think you're gonna see a lot of good DC movies, but I think that's also gonna make Marvel up their game
Yeah.
and be like, we got to get better too. And I think they have. I think they saw the writing on the wall. Like, and James Gunn's is friends with all those guys on Marvel, so it's not like we hate each other. They love each other, and like they're supporting each other. Like they want to see DC do good. DC wants to see Marvel do, because it helps both out. So I'm one of these. I don't jump on one side and be like Marvel sucks, DC only, or vice versa. Just like I don't like abandon every like I give every movie a chance, and then once I see it, I'll say no, that was bad, or this one's good. Like there's a lot of great Marvel movies, and there's some that are coming that are going to be good. I think Fantastic Four is going to be great, but for your summer going with your whole family to a movie, I would say Superman will be the one that everybody loves, especially because your family loves dogs, and Crypto the dog is
Is awesome.
amazing, so great.
Okay,
So that
I'm sold.
yeah, Crypto the dog kind of steals the movie.
Is it kind of
And
like a dog's purpose?
no, well, it's Superman's dog. He's from Krypton, so he has superpowers.
Does he
And
stay alive the whole time?
I'm not
Wait,
gonna
you
say
don't have to tell
anything.
me.
I'm not gonna
But
say.
like if
I'm
he
not gonna
dies,
do it.
does he turn into another dog?
No, no, that's not what Crypto does. He does not. And he's a cool dog. He's not like some stupid schnauzer or something.
I swear, if I cry, is this a movie where you cry?
You might cry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I teared up a little, but it's good. It's so good. It's well worth it. You'll like it. You'll enjoy it.
I would like to see a good movie.
Oh,
I feel
and there's
like,
some really cool cameos that one cameo, and again, this says Christopher Reeve, who played the Superman in the 70s.
oh
His
yeah,
son is in this movie as a reporter, and Christopher Reeve's son is an actual reporter for, I think, for ABC.
that's
But
cool.
so they brought him on as a reporter in Metropolis, and it was really cool to see him there. And you're just like, and I was like, oh my gosh, that because he looks like his dad. You're like, oh my gosh, there's the original Superman reporting on the street, and he
Yeah,
looks like he's in his 30s.
that's
So
so cool.
it was cool to see that. But yeah, that's what I got for entertainment this week. So
That's
there
a
you have
great
it.
episode.
Yeah. So that is free flow news,
Free flow news.
flowing the news freely.
We appreciate our 14 million subscribers. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh,
Let's double it next week.
yeah, let's
Get
get
us
to
up to
28
28 million.
million.
Boom.
We got 7 million in the first episode. Now we're at 14.
14.
Let's see if we can get to 28.
Yeah. It just keeps going up and up.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I
All
never
right.
thought this was possible, but we're here.
Yeah. And if we get to 28 million, I will wear a tie.
And I will wear pants.